Bulgarian influencer Andrea Ivanova, who underwent 32 aesthetic procedures between 2018 and 2022, made the decision to continue modifying her body despite being warned of the potentially fatal consequences of doing so. 25-year-old Ivanova claimed to have the world's biggest lips and hoped to boast the most prolonged and pointed chin as well. Up until 2022, she spent over $9,000 on procedures that included getting hyaluronic acid injections in her lips and augmenting her bra size from 75C to 75E. Ivanova acknowledged that her doctor had warned her against getting any more plastic surgery. She chose to disregard his advice, however, explaining that he'd expressed similar concerns in the past, but that she's been happy with the results. Ivanova said she would be celebrating her birthday in 2022 by applying fillers to her chin. The woman's highly modified appearance has gained her a loyal following on social media. Number 10. Matthew Kavinda. Florida officer Matthew Kavinda was fired from the St. Petersburg police force after using a stun gun on 64-year-old Timothy Grant unnecessarily. On June the 20th of 2021, Kavinda had been called to a gas station to deal with reports of a panhandler roaming the store. After arriving at the scene and speaking to Grant, he discovered that there were 5 active warrants under the man's name. Rather than following the department's de-escalation protocol, Kavinda immediately became hostile towards the suspects when he reportedly sat down in a wheelchair. Kavinda and his partner attempted to lift the man out of the wheelchair, eventually using unnecessary force by dry stunning Grant. Instead of activating the device's prongs, the officer pressed the taser against the victim's body directly and stunned him 4 times. In his report, Kavinda claimed that Grant had been violently resisting arrest in an attempt to justify his actions. Although he was ultimately terminated, Kavinda wasn't criminally charged in connection to the assault. Number 9. Lisa Hind. Lisa Hind, a resident of Cheshire, England, experienced regrets after convincing her husband, Steve, to sign a prenup in which he promised to pay $450 a month for her cosmetic surgeries. The 30-year-old woman, who reportedly wanted to look like celebrity Katie Price, realized the dangerous consequences of the extensive procedures she'd subjected herself to after falling during a trip to Benidorm in Spain, which left her with a split lip. Due to the fillers she'd been applying to her lips over the course of 8 years, doctors were unable to stitch her wound, leaving her with an unsightly scar for several weeks. It wasn't until she underwent surgery to drain the fillers that she could be properly treated. Hind, who worked as a personal trainer, indicated that her obsession with her physical appearance has also affected her marriage. Her husband, a bus driver, worked overtime and took out loans amounting to over $20,000 to fulfill the prenup's cosmetic surgery clause. During the first 8 years of their marriage, the couple spent $43,000 on procedures that included hair extensions, semi-permanent makeup, Botox, and lip fillers, as well as Hind's 5 times a week tanning bed routine. She swore off plastic surgery after the accident in Spain and decided to focus on mending her relationship with her husband. Number 8. Natasha Crown. Swedish model Natasha Crown, who spent $150,000 to enhance her backside, subsequently feared that her new physical attributes would prevent her from finding love. 27-year-old Crown, who underwent 6 procedures in total, reportedly sought to have the world's biggest bum. She had her first plastic surgery at the age of 20 when she underwent a Brazilian butt lift. Crown later expressed concerns that men would be too scared of her curves to date her, claiming that she hadn't been in a serious relationship since undergoing the initial procedure. Nevertheless, Crown reportedly planned on undergoing her 6th surgery in January of 2022. Number 7. Yulia Tarasevich. 43-year-old Russian beauty queen Yulia Tarasevich filed a criminal complaint against doctors Andrei Komarov and Omar Khalid, alleging that the procedures they'd performed on her body had caused her to experience severe side effects. Tarasevich, who was the runner-up in the Mrs. Russia International Beauty Contest in 2000, reportedly paid over $3,000 for a facelift and a mini liposuction, as well as surgery meant to correct her eyelids. In her complaint, the woman revealed that she was unable to close her eyes or smile after the procedures and was also left with scars all over her cheeks. Doctors Khalid and Komarov denied the accusations, blaming the alleged injuries on a previously undetected genetic condition, scleroderma. Tarasevich was forced to spend over $20,000 to fix the issues, but as of December of 2022, hadn't reversed the negative effects to her liking. She told authorities that the consequences of the initial surgery weren't merely aesthetic, as she'd reportedly needed to seek emergency treatment to save her eyes from necrosis. Number 6. Sarah Sabath. Sarah Sabath, a 26-year-old model and tattoo artist from Texas, went blind after attempting to inject color into her eyeballs. Despite the consequences of the procedure, she reportedly had no plans of ceasing the modifications to her body, indicating they make her feel more like herself. Sabath had already tattooed the majority of her body, underwent a nose job, and pierced her lips, neck, and nose before the ill-fated eyeball job, spending between $3,000 and $4,000 on her appearance in total. She claimed that the tattoo artist that applied the ink to her eyes didn't add enough saline solution, which resulted in temporary blindness. Fortunately, Sabath was able to find a specialist that helped her recover most of her vision. Number 5. Anaya Peterson. Irish woman Anaya Peterson of Belfast tattooed her eyeballs blue and purple in 2020 despite the serious risk the procedure posed to her eyesight. 37-year-old Peterson, a mother of 5, consented to the risky modification after Australian model Amber Luke, known also as the Blue-Eyed Dragon, underwent the procedure and posted the results to social media. Peterson mentioned how one of her daughters warned her against the tattoos, but she chose to go forward with it anyway, having undergone multiple other drastic procedures including face tattoos and a split tongue. The woman tattooed her right eye in July of 2020 and despite experiencing severe headaches, decided to repeat the procedure on her left eye. It took months for the more serious consequences to appear. Her eyelids swelled and she reportedly felt as though she'd been repeatedly punched in the face. Peterson was prescribed antibiotics, and when her health continued to deteriorate, she was hospitalized. She even had to be put under general anesthesia in order for doctors to perform a biopsy. Although her condition gradually improved over time, she hadn't fully recovered her vision as of the latest updates on the matter. Peterson has been warned by doctors that she may face glaucoma and permanent blindness as a result of the ink applied to her eyeballs. Number 4. Natasha West. On November the 13th of 2015, Chicago woman Natasha West was arrested for threatening a waitress during a dispute over pancakes. The 27-year-old had gone out to dinner with a few friends at a local Denny's, where she ordered the $4 all-you-can-eat pancake special. West decided to share the meal with her friends, but was told that the deal only allowed for a single diner to eat the pancakes. Enraged, the woman began swearing and threatening the waitress, while her friends left the establishment without paying. West eventually threw punches at the server, although she didn't actually make contact, before kicking the door open as she left the scene. The restaurant's manager called 911, giving police a description of the car in which the group had driven away. Shortly thereafter, West and her friends were pulled over and brought back to the restaurant, where they were positively identified by the Denny's employees. West was consequently arrested and charged with assault as well as damage to property. Number 3. Alvis Parrish. 54-year-old Alvis Parrish was arrested on December the 7th of 2021 after spiking her boyfriend's drink in order to get him to stop talking. Parrish of Jacksonville, Florida, was charged with poisoning with the intent to kill or injure after admitting to adding an antipsychotic medication used to treat schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and depression to her boyfriend's lemonade. She decided to call 911 after growing concerned about the victim's condition. Responding officers reported that the man was extremely lethargic but wasn't aware that Parrish had added the medication to his drink. As Parrish was being arrested, she told officers that she hadn't planned on killing her boyfriend, but that she simply wanted him to shut up. She also indicated that if she hadn't been removed from the premises, she might have ended up harming the man. Her bond was set at $5,000. As of the latest developments, the legal proceedings were still ongoing. Number 2. Shontova Kirkland. Shontova Kirkland, aged 32, accidentally killed friends Ine Wilson and Edward Lee on April the 25th of 2021 during a prank that went awry in Augusta, Georgia. The victims, who were 37 and 34, respectively, had joined Kirkland and a group of friends at a birthday party being held near a local lake. Kirkland, who'd rented 2 pontoon boats, threw Lee into the water along with another woman who was wearing a life vest. Wilson followed closely behind as his friend reportedly didn't know how to swim. Neither man resurfaced, prompting several partygoers to jump into the water in an attempt to rescue them, but their well-intentioned efforts ultimately proved unsuccessful. Their bodies wouldn't be recovered until the following week. On June the 21st of 2022, Kirkland pleaded guilty to 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter and was sentenced to 1 year in prison plus 9 years probation. Number 1. Mary Magdalene. American TikTok influencer Mary Magdalene nearly died after undergoing a risky surgery to inflate her genitals. In 2018, the 25-year-old internet celebrity, who developed a reported addiction to cosmetic procedures, spent over $100,000 in total to modify her body. She'd worked as an exotic dancer to pay for the surgeries, but was able to quit after her OnlyFans page became a steady source of income. Magdalene uploaded before and after pictures which illustrated the radical change in her physical appearance since she turned 21, including multiple tattoos, brow lifts, fat transfers, nose and breast jobs, as well as lip fillers. The model claimed that she wanted her privates to be the world's fattest and was undeterred by the fact that the surgery almost killed her, although she'd already increased her bra size to 38J. Magdalene expressed her desire to continue enhancing that area of her body with the use of expanders, as well as continuing with various alterations to her body despite the serious risks to her health. Thanks for watching. What is the fastest speed at which you've ever driven a car? Let us know in the comments section below.